a cure for pain. That's the day I throw my drugs away.
Morphine were an American band that existed from 1989 to 1999. They released 4 albums before their frontman Mark Sandman died on stage in 1999, and they have released 1 more since then, so since the band's demise. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of the album Cure for Pain by Morphine, which was released in 1993. It was their second album, and it's my first time listening to them. In fact, it's my first encounter with them. When this came up in my list of what I was going to listen to, I had no idea what it was going to be like. Yeah, I had a kind of vague feeling with the name and with the look of the album cover that it might be hard rock or metal, but I was wrong. Okay, so it's instrumentally curious. It's in some ways, one of the most unusual combinations of instruments that I've come across. So they've got drums, fine, and they've got bass, but the bass is a 2-string bass played mostly using a slide, which is a very interesting sound. It's quite a crunchy sound, and quite a lot of the time it's doing the job that a guitar might do, doing riffs, but of course lower down. And then add in sax. So sometimes that's tenor, sometimes it's baritone. I think in the recording sometimes they've got both. But they're basically a trio, this band, of sax, 2-string slide bass and drums. And they've changed their drummer a couple of times, but the rest of them have been consistent through the whole of their career. It's a curious sound that you get out of it. And I would say it's somewhere on the kind of swamp rock / rockabilly kind of spectrum. So some sources have said that this is jazz rock, and I don't think I would agree with that. I think that they're saying that because there's a saxophone, and I think saxophone equals jazz, which obviously isn't true. It's not really jazzy. If anything, I'd say it's more blues rock. And yeah, but I kind of want to say it feels American Gothic, and I don't really know how to justify that. It's got this feel about darkness in the American South, possibly usable for a film about vampires in Alabama or something like that. It's quite riff-based and relatively simple musically, apart from this unusual and curious, but I must say effective sound. Singing is, so that's probably the thing where I'm pulling in the most kind of rockabilly thoughts. It's kind of almost cowpunk in the singing. The rest of the sound isn't very punk. So it's got a lowish voice. We've got some lowish instruments. We've got the great bass sounds. I think there's not enough 2-string slide bass in the world. If this is what it sounds like, this is great. The songs are darkish topics. Some of them I can't really make out what the intent is. So, for example, A Head with Wings. I'm sure that's a metaphor for something, but I'm not sure what's a metaphor for. However, I enjoyed it, and I'd say that there is room in my life for a Morphine album, but maybe only one. If they're all kind of the same, then we've done the sound. I like the sound, but they need to do some variation. Maybe we'll see if I listen to some others whether they're different or not. So I quite liked it. But as always, at this point, I get to a point where I've run out of things to say, so I'm going to invite you to join in the conversation. Please tell me what you think of this album by leaving me a comment in the comments box. That's it from me for now.
I hear a voice from the back of the room. I hear a voice cry out, you want something good.